I live in Lewis now, and I sold a property in Seaford where I was living before here. I just decided that I wanted to move back to Lewis. My children are there and I work over in Lewis, and was spending my whole life driving backwards and forwards, so I decided to put the house on the market. I heard of David Jordan really just living locally in Seaford. He was recommended by a couple of people I knew. When I was looking at finding an estate agent, I wanted to choose fairly carefully because it's quite a stressful thing to go through in your life, selling your property. So when I met David Jordan, I found him to be very, very approachable, easy to talk to, very professional as well, and I felt comfortable with him. It's such a big thing in your life. You want to feel you're putting it in the right hands, really. And I felt, when I met David Jordan, I felt very confident in him, and I could trust him really to do a good job for me. We discussed the property and what sort of thing I was looking for, and I felt confident that he would see the whole process through. So it wouldn't just be a case of finding a buyer as quickly as possible, but making sure it was the right buyer. Because I think when you decide you want to put your property on the market, you just don't want to mess around, you sort of just want to get the whole thing going. And within a few days, the floor plans were done, the photographs were taken, and then it was up on the website very quickly. And I work full-time, so they were able to, Ian took over most of the viewings while I was at work, and it was very, very straightforward. I would get calls, so I always knew when somebody was looking, coming to have a look around, and I always got feedback once they had been. And it just went on from there, really. I got an offer on my property within about a month, and they didn't just get the sort of introduce the buyer to me, but they made sure that they checked the chain, they checked the sort of circumstances behind the person who was buying the property, to make sure they were in the right position. And so I felt fully informed by the time I decided to accept the offer. I was totally felt comfortable with the buyer. And then from that period of time onwards, they didn't just sort of sit back, they were sort of making sure they were going up and down the chain, and making sure that the whole process was going through comfortably, and right up to the day that I got a call to say it had completed. So it was a really, really good level of service. It really is one of the most stressful things you do, but it felt to me that a lot of the stress was taken over by them. That I could just go to work and feel it was all being in hand and being dealt with properly. I would certainly recommend David Jordan to other people. My experience was really, really good. They were very, very friendly and approachable in the office, very professional. Yeah, so I would recommend them without a shadow of a doubt.